So I hope that you have watched the video which was uploaded on Friday. Though that was an extra class because I could not take your class on the last Monday. So I shall be starting today from where I stopped on Friday. If you have not watched the video of Friday, if you please then you please pause this one and go and watch the video of Friday. Okay, now what we have to start from today, what we will have to start is that here, as you have seen already when I gave you the introduction to this scene 2 of Act 1, I told you that here you will be finding that first the conversation is going on between Miranda and Prospero. Prospero, quite in the manner of storytelling, is telling about their past to Miranda. Now what happens, Miranda and Prospero, while they are having the conversation, there will come Ariel and the conversation also will start. So up to here we have seen that Miranda is a very soft hearted girl. She is very kind hearted. She is becoming very much sympathetic towards those. She is thinking that the people who were there in the sea, who were there in the mid sea, they have died. So she is very much restless. She is very much impatient, as if her heart is crying. So what she is saying, she is asking her father, if you have created, if this is a manual storm which has been created by you, please calm it down. Now the father is telling that you tell your kind heart that nobody's life has been taken, nobody is harmed, everybody is hale and hearty, everybody is all right. So you just no need to worry. Okay. Now he is telling that all these things which I am doing, I have been doing this for you. Now how I am doing this for you, now I am going to tell you. Now Miranda was telling that if you earlier also you have started to tell me the story, but you have often not completed, and what you have said when I asked you father, you concluded that it is not the time yet the time has not come. So Miranda is saying that every time that you stopped your story, when I asked you that what is the reason that you are not completing your story, you have said that it is not the proper time to complete the story. Now he is telling now the time has come that I should tell you the story. Okay. So Miranda is asking that whether any foul play, any conspiracy was made against us, or if it was done so, whether it was good for us or not. So Prospero is replying that in both the way it had happened in that way. Now Miranda is telling her father that when I was a child, you took care of me being a father. So how much trouble I have given you? I have been I have given you much trouble. Now the reply comes from the father. Prospero is saying, my brother and thy uncle, my brother and your uncle called Antonio, I pray thee mark me. I pray to you, you pay attention to me. I request you that you should pay attention to me, that a brother should be so perfidious, a brother should be so treacherous, so what you can say, so untrustworthy, whom next thyself of all the world I loved, whom I loved next to you, means I loved you the most, you are my daughter, I loved you the most, I love you the most, and apart from you, whom I love the second, that is your uncle, who is my brother, but he is very much untrustworthy, or he became a disloyal, or you can say he became a very much sort of a treacherous. Perfidious means treacherous. And to whom put the menace of my state, as that time through all the signories it was the first. So I gave him the responsibility of running this particular kingdom, of running this particular dukedom, you can say. And signories actually are the small kingdoms. Signories are the small kingdoms in the Italian region. So signories, the first one, that means this one, Milan was the first one, or Milan was the most powerful one, was the most prominent one. So I gave him the responsibility of it. And Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, Prospero, that is me, being so dignified, and for the liberal arts without a parallel, those bring all my study, the government I cast upon my brother. So I devoted myself for the study, I devoted myself for these for the betterment of my magical capabilities, of my magical skill, and all these kingly affair, I had given to my brother. The government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, and I became like a stranger, and I became unaware of all these things. I became unaware of whatever the kingly affair, or of the dukely affair, all the responsibilities of the duke, all the affairs of the state. I was totally unaware. I was like a stranger to all these things, being transported and wrapped in sacred studies, being totally devoted and being totally engrossed in the study of magic. Thy false uncle, that means your false uncle, your fake uncle, or your treacherous uncle, dost thou attend me? Are you listening to me? So every time he will be trying to verify whether the daughter, whether Miranda is paying attention or not. Miranda is replying, sir, most heedfully. Yeah, most attentively I am paying attention to whatever you are saying. Being once perfected how to grant sweets. So he, that means my brother Antonio, he became perfect in how to grant the apples, S-U-I-T-S, so it means grant the apple. How to grant the apple whenever any apple was made to the court, how to deny them, and how to advance, and who to trash for overtopping. New created the creatures that were mine. I say, or change them, or else new formed them, having both the key of the officer and the office, set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear. That now he was the ivy. Now up to here let me complete. So what he is trying to say, Prospero is telling Miranda that your uncle, your treacherous uncle Antonio, so he changed everyone, all the ministers, all the people who were working in the court, he changed everyone, and he made them show that they used to pay respect to his order, and they used to work according to his order or instruction. So my people, those who were working under my instruction, they became tuned to work under his instruction. Now this is important what is being said here, that now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk. So if you have seen the ivy flower in the oak wood, or in the oak tree, if you see that the trunk of the oak tree will be covered by the ivy flowers. The ivy flowers will be covering the trunk of the oak tree. So here Prospero is that trunk of the oak tree, and ivy flower is Antonio, who covered the trunk, who covered the royal Antonio, who covered the all the royal attributes of Prospero was covered with the ivy flower in the name of Antonio. So Antonio covered up, or Antonio created an external layer in the kingdom, and he became all in all in the court also. Shark my bhardier means greeneries, out on it. Thou attendest not. So again he is asking, are you attending? That means, are you paying attention to me or not? Miranda, oh good sir, I do. Yeah, obviously I am paying attention to it. Prospero, I pray thee, mark me. I request you, you listen to me, you pay attention to me. I thus neglecting the worldly ends, so I became indifferent to all these mundane things. I became indifferent to these kingly affairs, to these state affairs, all dedicated to closeness and bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, overprice all popular rate. In my false brother awaked an evil nature. My trust like a good parent did beget of him. So he is saying that I became indifferent to all these affairs of state. I became indifferent to all these affairs of the state, and I got totally engrossed in my study, but by being so retired, overpriced all popular rate, all, and it I had to compensate for it. In my false brother awaked an evil nature. In my brother there was awakened an evil nature, and my trust like a good parent did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was. So my trust was great, but greater to it, that means it was overshadowed by the falsification of him, because he falsified everything. And it is like good parents also can give birth to the bad children. Similarly, my trust gave birth to a disloyal, fake, false, treacherous human being, which had indeed no limit. A confidence sans bound. S-A-N-S, sans means without. A confidence without any bound. He being thus lauded, he thus became the king, not only with what my revenue yielded, not only with the revenue, or not only with the monetary or the wealth or the financial part, but what my power might else exact, like one agreement of my state. So he not only became happy with the money, rather he also wanted the power. Remember that who, having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of the memory to credit his own lie. So it's like when you tell something false to your memory, that false thing also gets enrooted in your memory. Similarly, this person not only became happy with the revenue money, rather he wanted the power, and he kept on telling him that he is the actual king, he is the actual duke. And this falsehood became so, so much deep rooted in him, that this false seemed real to him. He did believe he was indeed the duke, out on the substitution and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. So he just executed not only the external thing, that means externally he was not acting out to be the duke, or he was not doing only the responsibility of the duke, rather he treated himself to be the actual duke. Again he is asking, are you attending me? Are you paying attention to me? Miranda, your tale, sir, would cure deepness. Your tale or your story is so interesting that even a deep person will listen to it, will pay attention to it. Prospero, to have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for. So that means there is no, he did not keep any screen, that means he did not keep any differentiation between the role he is playing and the actual role of the duke. So he did not keep any barrier among them. So he thought like he is doing the duty of the duke and he is the duke itself. So part he played, and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Now he wanted absolute Milan. Me poor man, my library was dukedom large enough, and my library was more than a dukedom to me. So it was much precious. Earlier he has said that all these affairs, all these matters are like worldly, very much mundane, very much transitory, very what you can say, very earthly thing, but my stature was higher than this. So now he is telling that my library was like a large kingdom for me, of temporal royalties. These royalties, these dukedom, these are temporal, these are transitory. He thinks me now incapable, confederates, that means makes a conspiracy, so dry he was sway with the king of Naples to give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coronate to his crown, and bend his dukedom, yet unbowed, alas poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping. So now Prospero is saying that now, in order to pursue his interest, in order to gain the power over me, what he did, he made a conspiracy with the king of Naples. And this act is so mean, this act is so humiliating that our Milan had never done this. Our Milan was never became a subject, or it never became what you can say, it never got ruled by someone. He agreed to pay homage to them, to the king of Naples. He agreed to become under his rule. So we never did so. Milan, till now, Milan did never do so. So here you can see coronate to his crown. Coronate is the small kingdom's crown, or the small crown under a sovereign crown. So he just what you can say, he accepted the obedience. He accepted the obedience of the king of Naples, and this is for Prospero is a very humiliating thing. Miranda, oh heavens, oh my God. Prospero, mark his condition and the event, and tell me if this might be a brother. You just treat his whatever he is doing and tell me whether he is worthy to be a brother. Miranda, I should seem to think, but nobody of my grandmother, it would be seen if I blame my grandmother, good homes have borne bad sons. So she is saying that good home, that means good parents, has begot or has given birth to bad children. Prospero, now the condition, this king of Naples being an enemy to me, inveterate means intervened, and hearkens my brother's suit and grants or healths to fructify the apple of my brother, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with the honors on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight, fated to the purpose of did Antonio open the gates of Milan in the dead of darkness. The ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self. So what Prospero is now saying is that So this way the king of Naples, he paid attention to my brother's appeal, and he helped him to become the powerful Duke of the Milan. And this way the minister and everyone, they were Antonio opened the gate at midnight, and they came, everybody, the army and everybody came just to drive us out. Drive whom out? Me, that means Prospero, and you were a crying baby. Your crying self means you were a crying child, you were a crying, that time you were so little. Earlier he has also made it clarified that only not perfectly 3 years old. So you were less than 3 years old, you were a crying baby. So that time only they drove us out. Miranda, alas, for pity, I not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it over again. It's a hint that wrings mine eyes to it. So Miranda is saying, I have not remembered how I cried that time, but till now it seems like I should cry again, I should cry over it again. And because that tears, those tears or those crying sensation, these are still shrouded in my eyes, these are still there in my eyes. Prospero, here a little farther, here a bit more, and then I will bring thee to the present business, which now is upon, without the which the story were most impertinent. So you just pay attention a bit more, so that I can tell you a bit further. Without telling that, the story becomes irrelevant. Prospero is saying, well demanded wench, well demanded, you are trying to cry, okay, well demanded wench, W-E-N-C-H, wench means woman, that means here he is trying my girl. My tale provokes that question, dear. No, Miranda, before that he is saying, that are destroy us, wherefore did they not that are destroy us? Miranda is asking why they did not destroy us, they didn't kill us that time, they could have easily killed us that time. Prospero is saying, well demanded wench, well demanded my dear lady, my girl, my tale provokes that question, dear. They durst not. So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business. So the people, the people who were living in the kingdom, that means the people who were there in this dukedom, in this Milan, so they loved me so much. So in front of them, they could not kill me, they could not kill us, but with the colors fairer painted their foul ends, but their intention was to do so in an indirect way. In few they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to the sea, they left us on the sea, and where they prepared a rotten carcass of bird, not rigged, not tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats instinctively have quitted. So abandoned by the rats, or that kind of a boat or whatever, whatever things which were given to us, actually that was rotten one, actually that was an abandoned one by the rats. And they had an intention that some way we will be getting drowned in the mid-sea and we will die. There they wished us to cry to the sea that roared to us, the sea, the roaring sea, we will be crying to the roaring sea, and to sigh to the winds whose pity sighing back again did us but loving wrong. So if we cry to the sea will roar at us. If we tell our sympathy, if we try to gain sympathy from the wind will also be violent that way. Miranda is now saying, alas, what trouble was I then to you? Miranda is saying, I was a big trouble to you then, my father. Prospero is saying, thou wast a cherubian, an angel, you were like an angel to me. Thou wast that did preserve me, you preserved me, you saved me from all the faces of impending danger. Thou didst smile, when you smiled, infused with a fortitude from heaven, it seems like a flashing of the heaven. When I have decked the sea with drops full salt, under my burden ground, which raised in me an undergrowing stomach to bear up against what should ensue. So he is saying that when the life seemed a burden of misery to me, you were the only savior. By seeing your smile, I could motivate myself. I could find that heavenly grace in you. Miranda, how came we ashore? Then how did we come to the shore of the sea? Prospero, by the providence divine. It was something divine. Some food we had, some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan means an inhabitant of Naples, that is Gonzalo. So Gonzalo arranged some fresh water, he gave us some food and also gave some book. Being then appointed master of the design, did give us with the rich garment, lions, staffs and necessaries, which seems have steaded much, which was much helpful for us. So of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library the volumes that I prize above my dukedom. So he gave me the book which were precious than my dukedom. I was not much bothered to lose my king, was not much bothered to lose my dukedom, but these books which I got, those helped me a lot. Would I might but ever see that man? Miranda is saying, if it would have been like this, I could have ever seen that man again. Prospero, now I arise, now I should rise up, sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. You sit here and listen to the sea sorrow. Sea sorrow means the suffering in the middle of the sea. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can that have more time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful. I here become your tutor. Under my tutelage you became like the most able princess. Other princesses, if you think, they passed their time in vainglory, they passed their time in all these time taking things, and their tutors or those their trainers, they are not as competent as mine. Now what is being said? Miranda, heavens thank you for it. Now I pray you, sir, for still it is beating in my mind your reason for raising this sea storm. Now Miranda is asking, still the question is not leaving me, my father. The question is that why did you raise the storm? Why did you create this storm? Prospero is saying, no, thus far forth by accident most strange, bountiful, fortunate fortune hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my presence I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I quote not, but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. So he is saying, by the presence of a star, I could know that they were in the mid-sea, and it was the time of taking the revenge. This time if I could not take the revenge, the time will never come again. my fortunes will ever droop, my fortune will never allow me to take the revenge again. Here sees more questions. You now stop questioning further. Thou art inclined to sleep, you feel very drowsy, you feel very much sleepy. It is a good dullness and give it way. It is good, now you go to sleep. I know thou canst not choose. I know you cannot but help without sleeping. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel, come. So he is asking Ariel, he is addressing him as his servant. He is telling, come away my servant, come Ariel. Ariel is saying, all hail great master, grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding, task Ariel and all his quality. So Ariel is saying, I all hail my great master. So the same, if you have read Macbeth, there the witches, they hailed Macbeth. So the tone, when the supernatural beings are being appeared, so the tone is here, is telling us. So he is saying, all should sing of the glory of Prospero. Now he is saying, whether it is to fly, whether it is to swim, whether it is to jump, whatever task you gave my master, I have did it in the most profound way. I have did it in the most loyal way. Prospero, hast thou spirit performed to the point the tempest I bade thee? He is asking, the way I told you to do that, to bring the tempest, did you do so? So he is saying, yes, I have done so. I wanted to continue, but now you see 32 minutes. Okay, little bit more. So now he is saying that did you do all these things? Ariel is saying, to every article, very minutely I have done everything. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the west, the deck in the cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometime I would divide and burn many places, so I put on fire everywhere, and sometimes I divided myself and I did the work simultaneously, like here I burnt and here also I also set the fire. So I did my work, getting myself divided into many halves. So on the topmast, the ears, the bowsprit, would I flame distinctively, they meet and join. Jove's lightning, there is a reference to the Roman mythology. So here Jove is the Jupiter. Jupiter is considered to be the god of lightning and thunderstorm. Okay, so he is saying, like the lightning of Jupiter, like the lightning of the Roman god, thunder god, I did all these things. The persecutor on the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning, were not the fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring. The most mighty Neptune is the sea god. Neptune is the sea god of Roman mythology, seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. Yes, his dread trident shake. Trident is that trishul. Okay, trident is the three-pronged spear or the trishul. So it actually shook the trident of the sea god, who is Neptune. Prospero, my brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason. Was anybody there who was so firm, so strong, that who will not be trembled with all these stormy thing? So we will be stopping here. I every day I think to run faster, to go faster, but here it's not getting completed. Okay, we have to be more faster other day. Thank you. Have a very nice day.